I am you, you are me. I'm just kidding.
Are you me, or am I going to teach you?
You're going to teach me.
Okay.
So, no, I'm just kidding. I meant like the anxiety. I am you, you're me. But like you're talking to yourself.
Okay. So if I would just stop for a moment. I'd pause. Okay. I'd take a first deep breath, really deep breath in. And then out of my mouth, I'd actually just go, yeah. And then I'd do that a couple times. And then I'd just go, and then I'd kind of let my body feel like I am letting go of that pent up anxiety that's inside of me, that stress that's inside of me, and it's coming out of me as I exhale because I'm not letting it get trapped in my body. I don't want it to get trapped, I'm letting it go, and then I just close my lips and then I breathe in and listen to that. If you're familiar with Ujjayi breath,
I love that one. Welcome to Tapping In. This is where we're going to explore how to connect to that universal guidance. You guys know that flow, that energy, that when you connect to it, it's like you get those great downloads of creativity and ideas. Well, if you don't, you're in the right place, because that's what this entire show is about. It's about tapping in to that universal guidance that we all have access to. And the great thing about today is I brought a special guest in. My friend Paulette, she's right here. She's going to share her tips and techniques that she's used in her life to share with our audience to help you guys tap in. Now, Paulette is an amazing yoga instructor. She owns her own studio. She's got 3 fabulous kids. She's got an amazing husband. She's always out there doing things. She's always hard to find. She's like a little butterfly. But she's here today to share some of her tips and techniques to help us tap in. Welcome, Paulette. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. So happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm so happy she's here because me and Paulette have been talking about doing something like this. I don't want to brag, but it's been about 10 years now that we've been talking about how we got to get out there and we got to promote our stuff. We got to talk about how we tap in, how we do our energy work. And we're finally doing it.
I know, I'm so proud of us.
I know, it's like so crazy.
Yeah.
So, Paulette, now that you've been an instructor for so many years, I wanted you to share that you've become an owner of your own studio. So I wanted you to share that process with us. Like, how did you go from yoga instructor to a studio owner?
Gosh, well, teaching 20 plus years, I had lots of opportunities that were just coming up. I did teacher trainings. I was working at the same studio for about 12 years and really built a really strong community. And I just loved the feeling of this connection that I built. And something in me kept saying, maybe I should,
try my own
thing. And although I kept getting fear in the middle of it all the whole time, I kept thinking, I can't do this. I've got this excuse. I've got that excuse.
I hate that voice.
Yeah, there's all of that.
So how did you overcome that? Because I know you've been wanting to do this a long time. And we all have our talks.
Yeah.
We're like, you can do it, you could do it.
Yeah.
And we talk about that wall that we hit, where all of a sudden it's just like, and we think that wall is always this powerful message that means stop, don't do it, it's dangerous. And we don't realize that that's the wall we're supposed to go through.
Right. Yeah.
And it's just like, so how did that shift happen where it's like, okay, I want to do this, and then,
So I sat a lot in meditation. I think meditation is one thing that's really helped me. Quieting my mind. The long walks, just thinking and asking someone out there a spiritual guide somewhere out there, just, what is my path? What more is out there for me? What more should I be doing? How do help me? I guess I ask for lots of help out there. Either a prayer or meditation, or just even the words coming out, like, help guide me. I'd wake up in the morning, I'd listen to positive affirmations. I would set my day on walks before I went to go teach. And little by little, I feel like things just started to fall into place. Although fear kept coming in the way. It kept coming no, it's not the right time. You're too busy with your personal life, and there's I had all kinds of excuses. And then finally I just sat down with it, and something just said, it truly whispered in my ear that old saying, "If not now, when?"
Because
I mean, it's true. I
love
like,
that.
You can't, if you have an opportunity and you feel that pull,
yes.
I feel like it's just, you got to follow your intuition. Try, and part of that is having to go over that obstacle of fear. And I was very fearful of doing it on my own. How can I do it? I'm going to fail. But how do I know I'm going to fail? You know, if I don't, I'd rather try and see how it goes and not try at all and look back on my life and wish that I did. Yeah. So, yeah.
I love when that voice starts to get stronger.
Yeah.
That's what I always say to myself. I'm like, if you're so good, like to my critic, if you're so good at always figuring out what could go wrong, what people are going to say that are going to knock you down, I'm like, where's the other voice that's like, come on, you can do it. And think of all the people that you can help, right? And that's what I love about this show and us getting together, because we want to share that, right?
Yes.
Like, I'm scared to shoot every time I'm going to shoot. Like, my poor team is like, what is going on with her?
For sure.
It's that same thing. But I have to remind myself, it's not about me.
Yep.
It's about the energy. And when we trust and we relax, it's almost like you surrender to it. Like, I can't take it anymore.
Yes.
Which is hard too, but it's like, I can't take it anymore. And you surrender and go, it's about the message.
Yes.
And I want you to know that you are connected to love and you love yourself. It all starts with that, loving yourself.
Yeah.
And then being your own cheerleader so that you can't do things like that, right? Like, hey, I am going to start my own studio. And if you've never taken one of Paulette's classes before in yoga, she is amazing. She makes a point of talking to each one of her students. Gives me, again, goosebumps. I know I have to stop saying that. My daughter says I got to get a t-shirt. Goosebumps. But it's true, because she talks to each one of her students, makes them feel welcome, and then you teach a class where I feel like you connect everybody's energy, and then you build a class around that. And again, that takes trust.
Yes.
Right? Like, I'm sure before a class you may have, do you have insecurities before teaching, or?
Well, yeah, and I think when I walk around and talk to everybody, that's when I'm trying to make that connection of how I'm going to actually, I might have a plan in my head of what I'm going to teach that day, but maybe as I'm speaking or meet new people that have other things going on, I try, that's part of the reason why I talk to them, so I can connect with them and then move with that energy, that connection. And the insecurities before teaching a class, sure, I have those sometimes too. Yeah, of course. Yeah. But that's, I always ground with my students at the very beginning. I always have a sit in a meditation. We do a little breath work in the very beginning of practice, and that's just so I can also tap in with them as well. So we're tapping in together.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
And like owning a studio too, like the other fear is even doing anything that we do, we have that imposter syndrome. Am I good enough to do this? I mean, who do I think I am? And then you think, am I working for my egoic mind? But no, it's not. I'm coming from a love. I'm coming from a place of, I really want to create a space where people feel welcomed and happy, and just where they can decompress and feel like they have a home outside of their home, like a place that they can actually just
And you definitely get that at your studio.
Thank you.
Yeah, and that's your studio. You definitely feel that. My daughter, that never likes to go to yoga classes, I took her to your yoga class, and she's still talking about coming back because she felt so centered and connected to her body, which is huge, especially for teenagers, where teenagers feel kind of awkward.
Right.
She all of a sudden was like, "Oh, I'm embodying my space," and also she did it with her breath, and all of a sudden you can see this. It took her out of, say, the mind, the critical mind, and reconnects you to something bigger. And I think when you see stuff like that happen, again, I always go, that's the magic sauce.
That's a tapping in, right there. That's it. When you have that moment of quiet in your mind, clarity, that's when clarity comes in.
Yeah, clarity.
When
flow.
you are so stressed out and you're just moving, busy, you don't take the time to just kind of sit with what you're feeling. Instead, you just keep filling your plate with more and more things to do instead, and then you're like, before you know it, you're overwhelmed. You're like, learning tools to breathe, learning tools to connect with other people, learning tools to like walk in nature, learning, just little things that are, or even just the moment, like right now, like if you're stressed out, take a moment to take a deep breath, feels good. Let that go, right?
Yes, no, I love that.
Feel like the chair that's behind me, like just kind of tap into what you're feeling at this moment so that your mind can just stop spinning into the future, into the past. Just stay right here.
Stay present.
Stay present. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's tapping in to me.
Yeah. That's tapping in. Wah, wah, wah. I don't know why I did that. Tapping in.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Stay tuned for the next show on Tapping In. Rated R. Just kidding.
That's funny.
All right, there's so many jokes. I just have to pause because my funny side is like, you can say this, you can say this.
Yeah.
I'm like, inappropriate for this world, madame.
You are so funny.
Aw.
I love that about you.
Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, everything that you said, I think it's so funny because every time we say it, it feels so simple, right?
Yeah.
And it's always just like, come back to your breath, come back to the moment, ground, settle.
Yeah.
It's like, my husband calls it the rice, beans, and cheese of New Age thinking. It's like always a different combination,
Yeah.
but it's the same thing. And I'm like, that's so true.
Yeah.
But it's reminding ourselves that it's that simple, and also taking my body off of the addiction
Yeah.
of, oh, I thought I am supposed to feel anxiety in life. I thought that what my ego said or that critical voice was right.
Yeah.
And when all of a sudden you realize it's just you and your bubble and you're creating the entire story. To me, I'm like, okay, so how do we change that story? I want to upgrade. So I'm constantly talking about removing old programs, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay, how do I remove this program? And I'll do little tricks where I'll blast it to kind of make it disappear. Like, you no longer serve me.
Yeah.
And I'll just like, you're gone. Sometimes it works, and sometimes I'm like, what are you doing back here? Didn't I just zap you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't make me get a slipper.
Slipper. That's my grandma.
I know, exactly. That's not working. Critical voice.
Taking moments to just when you're stressed, of course, sometimes it's hard for you to actually like, I'm gonna take a breath now. No, sometimes you're just like but you catch yourself. So the more you practice, so it's a practice. It's a daily thing. So maybe the first few months, years, you're finding yourself stressing out, but eventually you'll find the tools like I am overwhelmed. I need to stop. I need to take this deep breath. I need to just you start to make that inner connection more, and I think that's where meditation really comes in.
Yeah. So what are some tips when you say meditation? What does that look like for you? Because meditation nowadays, it's like you can have this many meditations. So what's your quick 2 meditation that you could share with us right now?
Breathing is really a good to me when I'm so there's different things, but I can do a quick one. So
yeah, do it for me right now. So I'm like freaked out. Let's just say I'm nervous, right?
Yeah.
So I am you, you are me. I'm just kidding.
Are you me, or am I going to teach you?
You're going to teach me.
Okay.
So, no, I'm just kidding. I meant like the anxiety. I am you, you're me. But like you're talking to yourself.
Okay. So if I would just stop for a moment, I'd pause. Okay. I'd take a first deep breath, really deep breath in. And then out of my mouth, I'd actually just go, yeah. And then I'd do that a couple times. And then I just go, and then I kind of let my body feel like I am letting go of that pent up anxiety that's inside of me, that stress that's inside of me, and it's coming out of me as I exhale because I'm not letting it get trapped in my body. I don't want it to get trapped. I'm letting it go. And then I just close my lips and I breathe in and listen to that. If you're familiar with Ujjayi breath,
I love that one. I'm always like
a little Ujjayi breath, and usually.
Well, wait, you know what? Maybe tell our audience what it is.
So Ujjayi breath is basically when you constrict the back of your throat, kind of like. And it makes these little Darth Vader
noises.
Like, or it sounds like the ocean. So you constrict the back of your throat when you breathe in. And when you breathe out, and you kind of do that a few times, it makes the breath more audible. So for yourself, so that way you can just start to keep your mind listening to that. So you know like how the ocean sounds when you're out at the beach and how it's like calming, that ocean wave. You're creating that own ocean wave inside your mind. So you're quieting, you're calming, and that usually that helps, to be honest. Meditation could also be sitting down for a few minutes, like take 3 deep breaths, and that can be in and out the nose, it doesn't matter, but just something to calm down for a moment. And I think I may have mentioned before, I like to take a shower too in the morning. And when I take that shower, I try to feel the water on my skin. I try to stay present with how the temperature of the water feels. I try to breathe, in and out. and then I blast myself with cold water.
That part I'm just like, oh. Now when I sneak, I'm like, oh, maybe. Oh, did I forget?
It reminds me just like I can do hard things. It's all good. You're going to be okay. Yeah.
I think that's true, though. It's good practice because you're able to stay centered.
Yeah.
Stay in your mind. Like you're not just running away, because it's a perfect example of how we just do that at every level. Like I feel that feeling and I'm like, bow.
Yeah. I'm going to go get a snack. I'm going to go. Yeah.
I don't like how this feels.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you could give your younger self some advice, what would that advice be?
To trust yourself, be nicer to yourself, just quit judging yourself so much, and be fearless. Go.
Oh, that almost makes me want to cry.
Yeah, me too.
I know, like, that's beautiful. My younger self and your younger self are just
very similar, it seems.
Yeah, you can do it.
Yeah, because I think we have that in us, but it's always just our own inner critic and judgment person.
Yeah.
You know who you
critical,
are.
I don't even have a name for you. That jerk.
Yes, and I think that always comes. That's like you're not. It's
enough.
You're not enough, or it's. Why would they listen to you? What do you know? You know. I think I just finally realized, like, no, I got a lot to give.
Yeah.
I got a lot of love. I got a lot of energy, and I know I can do this. So finally, I think I told that person,
you're
that critic. Yeah. You're
get out of here.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. I don't want you anymore. You're
not my friend.
Yeah. I see you in the dark in that corner.
Exactly. I think I learned. I think, I think just be nicer to yourself. Be nicer to yourself. Because I think that's it. Confidence is it goes a long way.
Yeah.
It really does when the confidence comes from love, not from an ego part.
That's the thing that he always, because how many times have you been like, you could do this, you're so good, you're so that, but you still don't really feel it.
Yeah.
But it's when you do come from that loving place where you're just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I touched my mic.
It's like, it's also feeling grateful, really. Like, oh wow, I can do this. I am so grateful. Thank you. I don't know who to thank, but thank you for, and myself, thank you for trusting yourself enough to trust.
I got my back. I always try to remind myself too, like, you've got your own back. Like, and it's always been there, right? When you put yourself out there, you're like, oh, you were there for me. There was something bigger that was there for me. And that's that trust.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like when I trusted myself the most, that's when things started to go forward.
And fast.
Yeah,
on.
And sometimes super fast. Yeah. But and that's just it. The trust of leap, just jump, just go for it, just do it. I mean, it's better to try than not try at all. That's somebody famous.
I know. Somebody might have quoted that. And if they didn't, it's mine.
It's mine.
Paulette did that.
Yes.
That's great advice. Yeah. And I'm sure your younger self right now is like, yeah, thanks, Paulette.
Yeah, for sure.
That's great advice.
Oh, and another thing that I like to say too is quit comparing yourself to other people.
Oh, yeah, that's a
comparison is a big deal.
It's the worst.
Comparison is a thief of joy.
Is what?
The thief of joy.
It's so true.
So true. I didn't say that.
I know. Paulette's quote of the day.
But another one that I say in my head when I find myself
good.
I'm not there yet, but that's okay. I don't need to be at that pace. I'm in my life. This is my life.
Yeah. And I always try to catch that critic too, because when it says stuff like that, I'm like, why do you always compare me to somebody that's way up here?
Yeah.
That's like, like doing amazing things. Like, what about down here? They're like, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, so basically you just want to hurt me.
Yeah.
Like you're just there. And again, I feel like, is that my programming? Is that my body's addiction?
Yeah.
I know I'm going off on tangent, but that's those feelings where I'm like, and knowing that we all have them. I'm like, it's not special for you to have those feelings. We all have them. We're all trying to look our best or show up our best or be loved.
Yes.
But go back to what you said. It has to start with us saying it to ourselves first. Don't look for it outside.
Yes. And that's you tapping in.
That's me tapping in right now.
For sure. Aww. Like noticing. And that's it. When those critics come up, those mean critics, we just tap in and like, that's okay. I'm still going to stay on my path. I'm living my life. I'm doing my best. And hey.
It's so true, because when you tap in, that flow feels so good.
Yeah.
And it's never bumpy.
Yeah.
Right? What comes out, like, okay, I know we're going off tangent again, but I know that when I'm giving somebody advice and it's just flowing, I can never repeat it.
Yeah.
Right? It's just like it flows. It's so good. And sometimes I could even hear I'm not going to call it my ego, or I don't know, my I'll call it third dimensional self,
Yeah.
listening to the same advice I'm giving this person where I'm just like, that's really good advice. I too should listen to this advice I am giving this person. And you're right, that's tapping in, right? That flow.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for being here today. This was, I'm just so proud of us.
Yeah,
like,
proud of us
we
too.
did it.
We did it. This is great.
And again, I want to have you on the show 100 more times.
I thank you
because
for
I
having me
think,
here.
yay. Thank you for sharing your tips and techniques. And if you want to know more about Paulette, she's got an incredible studio. I'm going to look at my notes because, of course, I didn't memorize that because of the ADD. I have 15 papers. My poor assistant, she makes all these papers, and I'm like, I am not going to say anything that's on these papers. We're going to make up.
We did
All
good.
right. I know, I've already gone off. I'm like talking about Paulette. I'm back to the cards. Focus. So I want you to know, though, Paulette has got an incredible studio called Soul Movement Yoga, and she's also co-founder of Beyond the Mat. So if you ever want to take one of her classes, if you live in the Orange County area, check them out. She's amazing. They're
Soul
amazing.
Movement Yoga, that's in Mission Viejo, and then Beyond the Mat is in Dana Point. So you just find me where you can. They're two separate directions.
Yeah. If you want to live all the way down here, go all the way down.
Yes. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah,
this has been fun.
If you want more, please join our community at marisagrieco.com.